This is not good. Worlds are colliding.
We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us.
And what the hell is that? You know, what is that? And I couldn't even talk. I was just amazed at what I was seeing.
This is the Beast of the Week podcast.
Beast of the Week. Beast of the Week.
Beast of the Week.
Beast of the Week.
Beast of the Week.
Beast of the Week.
It's been a long time, friends.
Beast of the Week. Beast of
It's
the
been a
Week.
long time.
Beast of the Week.
But we're here. We're back.
Beast of the
You
Week.
know us. You love
Beast
us.
of the Week.
I don't.
Beast of the Week.
Welcome
Beast of the Week.
to the start
Beast of
of
the
season 2 of the Beast of the Week podcast.
Beast of the
Oh man, we missed this as much as you did. Maybe I missed it a
Probably
lot.
more.
Guys, how much did you miss it?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yes.
7.92.
Joey, I feel like
Out of
it's a
out
good
of
thing.
7.
Oh, that's still not that good.
No, it's still.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, it's
bad.
Torius. No, mine's still 2 point. What did I say?
2.5.
Let's make that out of a solid 2.5.
Whoa! Weird scale.
That's my scale.
I was gonna say
I use the metric system.
I do like how we're out of our personal frying pans and into a fire where Joey still rates pretty much everything on some kind of number scale.
It was in waffles. It was in waffles.
He has decided after you rate it, you decide the scale. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I like to say wherever my mind, makes me say, and then
Yeah.
All right,
Wow.
Sam, how
Nice.
much did you miss it?
I had no idea what to do on Tuesday nights, which is the night we record.
It was rough.
You got real
Yeah, no, I
sad.
had a lot of time.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I started.
Well,
playing,
you know what?
Started playing a game about Norman Reedus and a baby.
That game, I was over Sam's place a few days ago. I watched him play it, and it made me angry.
it made you angry.
Every time he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm throwing my blood at an ink whale because the baby told me to and said it was a ghost." And I was like, like a video game,
yeah,
Yeah.
like a video game.
Like a video
the baby
game.
tells you where the ghosts are.
Norman-
and you gotta pee on them.
Norman Reedus is a FedEx man in the future who has a fetus on his chest, and he throws his shit at ghosts. That's fine. It's Monster Energy. Why not? All right,
Yeah,
guys.
Why not?
But we got some spooky scaries to get to you today. But you know what, everybody, let's do a catch up here. What's been going on in your life in the past few months?
I started teaching assistances, which is great, and I have 0 time to do anything.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm getting paid,
Joe, how
though.
about you? Yeah, you gotta get paid, gotta get made, gotta get shade.
Mm-hmm.
John, I'm really happy that you asked me what I was doing because I actually recently just started my own ASMR channel.
What's it
Did
called?
you?
It's called ASMR Depression Cave.
Oh.
So it's when there's enough bottles. Can I tap this?
Yeah, you can tap it.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Ooh.
Oh,
So I've been
it
doing
sounds
this
like a
for-
Tool song.
Is it like this?
It is a Tool song.
Oh, nice.
It's very similar to that. I like that.
I like it.
It's
Real nice.
It's very relaxing. It keeps all the anger of not recording the Beast of the Week and screaming at each other on a weekly basis for our beautiful fans.
There's a
Just
lot
keeps it
bottled up
inside.
because of this.
Keeps it all inside. But anyway, don't try to look it up online. It's just for me.
You just record it and listen to it as you go to sleep or some shit.
I'm starting to
I
think
listen
you
to it
just.
when I wake up. Actually,
I'm starting to think you just have audio of you with a shatter wall.
it's really cute. I tap the bottles a little bit and then whip it against the wall until I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's so peaceful.
Getting
Sam,
broken
what's
into.
your life been?
Really not too much interesting. I went into stasis for a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
alien style.
Like Master Chief, I like to say. And so I went into stasis and I calibrated my mind's controller and now I'm back, ready to record when you opened up the pod and you said, Chief, it's time to go. You have to light these rings, or the locusts will get them.
What the fuck?
Yes,
Okay.
Sergeant Price was there.
Yeah.
I remember that. I didn't realize it had such a profound effect on you.
Yeah,
I'm glad it
yeah.
did, though.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
mean, I often say that I'm a scientist in New Hampshire, but really, I'm an amoeba under the ground.
That's
I don't have a
profound.
job, so I just kind of go into stasis.
Huh, that's
For
where you
8
go
hours a
every
day.
day.
I've been lying. Yeah. Yeah, I get in my Camry and I drive probably about 50 feet down the road, and you don't ever really notice. It's because I have a really cool decal that I can put up when I'm in stasis, and on the driver's side window it's a picture of Lou Bega, and so nobody questions or wants to open up that car.
Fair.
Unless they want a little Monica in their life.
Well, Monica's in
old,
stasis too. Yeah, no, she's
Oh.
she's all right. She's in stasis.
Who's in
Okay,
stasis?
that's good.
A little bit of Monica.
A little bit of Monica.
Only a
Yeah,
little
not
bit
all
of
of
her,
her,
though.
though.
I cut off her hand.
Just
yeah.
a little bit.
Her
Oh.
hand, yes. Her hand is ageless. I've built up a couple reputations since we've last met. I moved and started a job, but I'm still me. So in my neighborhood, the local Dunkin' knows me as the guy who at about 4 on a Saturday goes and gets somewhere between 3 and 6 donuts. And then the people on the street know me as the guy who eats 3 or 6 donuts while walking down the street every Saturday. And then the people
nice.
at work know me as the IT guy who gets together with his friends and makes dick jokes about monsters every week. So,
Very good.
it's been good. It's been
Yeah,
good.
you're pretty
been
much
fruitful.
a celeb.
Yeah.
Yeah, big donut man.
Big donut man.
Yeah,
Big
it's
monster
you.
dick man.
Big mustard. Big donut dick.
Big donut dick.
I demand you all refer to me as Big Donut Dick.
No.
Yeah.
They call me the eclair.
Oh, what's that?
It's oblong, full of cream.
You got a little shit on you?
So we're back, folks, and you might be wondering what devilish dastardly dingaling are we covering today?
Donut dick.
No, I'm not the beast.
It's my
of the
favorite
week.
cryptid.
I'm the beast of the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is this the Beast of Tuesday podcast?
This week we're covering a little creature of Hispanic origin. What do you guys think?
Oh, I heard of it.
Have you guys heard of this one? I actually think we've mentioned it before.
Yeah, he's the
Sam
I think
captured
so.
one.
yeah
La
yeah.
cucaracha.
No,
We-
Gallagher.
the-
Cucaracha. La cucaracha.
Close.
the watermelon smashing man,
What?
Gallagher.
Brian?
No, Brian's not on this episode.
Ah, shit.
Um,
got
Listen to the Denver airport for our friendly friend Brian Peterson.
Episode 6.
Thanks. I
Wow.
forgot. This week we are covering El Chupacabra.
And this is where we put like the really fancy dum da 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 like that kind of music in here.
I think you just covered it for us.
No. We're gonna
Yeah,
cover
no,
it.
that was good job.
I think you could cover it. Give us a little bit more. Oh, that's good. The Puss in Boots would walk out to that in the WWE ring.
Yeah. Give me some Jethro Tull.
Ba-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I love that, Jeff.
Oh man, Jethro Tull really the 80s
Jeff
were weird to them.
Rosenstock.
So the common misconception that I didn't know until recently, I always thought the Chupacabra was a Mexican cryptid. Turns, Scooby-Doo lied to me because most of the stories and all of the, the biggest parts of it, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Damn it, Scooby.
Damn
Yeah.
it, Scooby.
How could you lie to me like that?
Not only did Scooby-Doo
Well,
lie
he's
to
a
you,
talking dog.
but adult Scooby-Doo called the X-Files lied to you.
Yeah.
Because
That really is
adult Scooby-Doo also Mexico.
Is adult Scooby-Doo just Spooky Mulder?
No, he's Mexican.
What?
No.
Scooby-Doo
No, it has
himself
nothing to
is
do with that.
Mexican?
When we all age, we don't turn Hispanic.
Yeah, Joey, what
That's-
the fuck?
Not at all how that works.
You said
So anyway, let's set the scene here. While we're skating on thin ice, Set the scene.
Let's keep it warm and dive in.
Well, it's real easy to keep it warm in Puerto Rico. In March 1995 in Puerto Rico, a farmer in Orocovis was startled to find 8 sheep mutilated in his fields, drained of their blood, with mysterious puncture wounds. A whirlwind of sightings at the time and animal mutilations over the next year started the legend of the Chupacabra. But its origins likely date further back than this. From folk traditions to creatures of different names, the MO of it remains consistent. The Latin American cryptid terrorizing farmers and predating on livestock.
So I like we said, always thought this was a Mexican cryptid, but not true. It is like we said, mostly Puerto Rico.
Right.
They are the progenitors of this beautiful boy, and there are a couple differences.
That's true. That's true.
If you like,
there's actually
let me know about a little bit more. I know you got some more in the tank.
As a fun aside, I was talking to one of our good friends who's Puerto Rican, and she was telling me about how I mentioned that we were covering the Chupacabra, and she mentioned how growing up in a predominantly Puerto Rican neighborhood, the like fun playground taunt was that the Chupacabra was gonna get them.
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't like that.
So I see it a lot nowadays. I'm not sure how long this has been, but like ever since I've been interested in cryptids, like I feel like every few years there's like a Chupacabra body found, and it's just very clearly a sick dog.
Yeah.
Bad dog.
The thing is, like, the original description of the Chupacabra is not canon at all, and for some reason that's become what people think it is some kind of four-legged critter with that's a dog based on everyone they find that's clearly just a dead, diseased dog.
Yeah.
So what we're actually talking about here, if you follow us on the Insta, you've probably seen a picture. It is a nocturnal creature that kills livestock and specifically drains their blood. It leaves behind a mysterious cluster of 2 to 3 puncture wounds up to 1 inch in diameter, and they're usually on the neck, but they're all over. Sometimes they even remove the animal's organs, which, I do too. They're tasty.
But yeah, that's just the good way to get food,
Exactly.
Is
think about your consumption.
Is the thought that the organs are like sucked out from these holes, or are they like ripped into?
That varies from mutilation to mutilation, because some of them are like very torn apart, but sometimes they have like almost surgical precision, and I'm not sure if that lines up with the organs being moved or not.
Huh.
It would be fucking sick if it sucks out.
Yeah.
Through their neck.
Through their neck, yes.
Sucking all the organs.
Dracula's got to fucking worry because he only gets so much suction. He can only get blood and sexiness. He does not get organs.
Oh, I mean, he might snack on a liver.
Every now and then.
Really? The liver?
High iron content.
Only around the holidays. True. It's his treat.
Yeah. All vampires
nice.
are iron deficient. Let's get real here.
That's logical.
Yeah.
We just have people who took their anemia diagnosis in a different direction. So if it's not a canid like we just covered, what does it look like? Joe, why don't you tell us what this fat Larry looks like?
It looks like a dead dog.
No, case solved. Case fucking solved.
Shit, all right. Welcome to thanks for listening to the Beast of the Week podcast. It's fucking done.
Good night.
It's done.
We've had the first quit from Johnny of the new
No,
season.
that wasn't my quit. I'm saying you just covered you closed the book.
Done. We're done here, guys.
I'll see you guys in 3 months, and we'll, I guess, do like Fresno Skinwalker or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. So that's actually not necessarily what it looks like. La cucaracha is a canid-type creature.
No, it's not.
Good lord. All right. So this dead dog is actually a creature standing 4 feet tall with reptilian-like skin. Looking at you, the Clintons. No ears, no nose, but it does have 2 nostrils and a mouth full of very sharp fangs.
Fearsome.
Very fearsome.
Fearsome.
A fearsome critter, one might say.
Whoa, easy. You don't... That's a strict definition.
He's got clawed toes. They, not he. They have clawed toes and a row of spines protruding down its spine.
I was wondering if that's more like Godzilla or like a chicken. Is it like
Or like
where
a
feathers would go, or is it
porcupine.
like? Yeah, that's more than a chicken.
I think it's
What-
closer
I'm
to
imagining
like
more
Stegosaurus.
Godzilla,
That'd be sick. Yeah,
which is
I'm
like
going with-
Godzilla.
just like
Although-
Godzilla.
Although when I first read that, I couldn't help but picture just like a spine with like a bunch of like vertebrae just
That would be
flowing in
terrifying.
Wow.
the wind, right? That's horrifying.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah, that's really
Oh
scary.
my god, no.
That could be it.
But that's
I
what
hope
popped
not.
into my head as soon as I read that. I was
Wait.
like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh, no.
A spine with more spines coming out.
Yeah.
Shooting
More
off of
spines.
it.
Okay, it's
That's
not because I was
horrifying.
gonna say the Stegosaurus is the things on its back are a part of its spine. You're talking entirely separate nerve cords.
Like
Several
yeah,
spines.
new spines. Just
Oh
flapping
no.
all over
I
the place.
hate it. I hate it.
like
I'm
little
gonna say
wind
that-
charms.
That's horrifying. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say evolutionarily, that's interesting. I don't think that's gonna survive.
Makes
I'm
no
not-
sense.
What god would allow that?
This thing is an apex predator, Sam. All right. I don't think
That's
it matters.
that
whether it
doesn't
has
make you an
more
apex,
spinal
that makes
columns
you-
hanging off of its spinal column.
It's only apex because everyone's too grossed out to touch it.
Yeah, it's the only reason why
Something
it
goes to eat it, like,
survived. It has no
cool,
predators.
Yeah, no one
That's
wants
the
to eat
predators
the
'cause
fucking
they're like,
thing.
what?
I'm laughing so hard I'm crying.
Which one's the real one?
This thing must cry all the time because it doesn't have lids on its giant red eyes.
Oh.
I'd believe it's sad.
Makes
Yeah,
me
th-
think that it's got kind of like insectoid eyes.
I wonder if it
I
licks
can
its
see that,
eyes
yeah.
to keep it moist.
Because like
Probably.
slaps it with his
actually,
spines.
it is a reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say like because flies don't have eyelids, that'd be weird.
If a fly had eyelids, it would be a little too cartoony. I wouldn't like it. Real animals looking cartoony is not allowed in this damn near doll. This is way scarier than a dog.
Yeah, this thing sounds way
Chupacabra.
more terrifying than the Clintons.
Yeah, this abomination that we've made.
I'm not even talking about the one with the spines, though. I'm mortified
like
of that.
the real thing.
Good God.
I really hope someone draws that for us now.
Please, honestly,
A
I hope they
reptile.
don't want to sleep some more. And I finally got episode 1 out of my head, so let's
So this is a reptile with just 2 holes in its face for nose. There's no nose, but like 2 holes.
yeah, like a lizard
Sharp
boy.
fangs, clawed toes, spines hanging off of its spine, and then big friggin' red eyes.
It would be scarier if it did have a nose, honestly. What if it just
Like
had
a really
people
big
nose?
schnoz.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like a very
hilarious.
peoply nose.
Now, the name Chupacabra actually literally means goat sucker in Spanish, and this was actually coined in 1995 by Puerto Rican comedian Silverio Perez, and it was coined on what I believe was the Puerto Rican version of Oprah, essentially.
It's super interesting to me that we've covered all of these cryptids so far that like they're named after like what they do, so it's funny, like goat sucker.
Yeah.
But this one also came from a comedian on TV. Like this is the first one we're covering that's like this is like younger than us.
Oh yeah, well then you
Yeah.
it's exactly
Well,
as old as
depending
me.
on who you are.
I'm the youngest on the podcast. It's exactly as old as me.
Yeah.
I always
Interesting.
forget that.
But yeah, no, it's like brand new, which I didn't know because growing up, like it's in the X-Files. It was on Scooby-Doo. Like it's ingrained itself as one of
been
the
around,
like
like, forever for us.
top-notch cryptids compared to like
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff we cover. Like we dig deep to find those, but this one's just like in your face. And
It's It's
I
up there
thought
with
it was
like
a
Loch
lot
Ness
older.
and Bigfoot.
yeah, I thought it. I mean, we'll get into it. That stories similar are, but the Chupacabra TM 95, and it was the popularity of it is widely due to what at the time was the fledgling internet. It was a new, like, anyone remember like old school internet? It was like the Wild West. Like you just did shit on there, and it was
Yeah, and you'd get
Like
pop-ups and you're like,
Neopets.
that's the internet.
Angel
Flash
Fire,
games.
Club Penguin.
Yeah, this was even before our time on the internet when it was even more lawless. And basically the story showed up and people loved it. People on the internet love a spooky story, and it took off. It's at a speed that we've never had before. Like, think back, the Yeti took hundreds of years to reach most years. Nessie maybe like 40, 50. In the 50s and 60s with Bigfoot and the Patterson-Gimlin footage, it took years. Chupacabra took months to get popular, and now it just takes weeks. At a certain point nowadays, it just gets boring. But this
it gets old quick.
This is the first fucking meme cryptid, and that's pretty cool, but at the same time it shows how fast this shit moves now, which makes it kind of hard for us to research, because it's hard to tell, like, with newer shit how much is just like a creepypasta.
Things are being disproven as we're hearing.
We have disinformation agents in the cryptozoological world. These are false flag articles.
My God. I'm taking my shirt off now.
However, despite the widespread hysteria, the world's foremost investigator of El Chupacabra, a man named Scott Corrales, as well as our very own Sam Harris, will point out that reports of this creature really go back into 1974 and 1975. Take it away, Sam.
Would you guys like to dive in on the Puerto Rican Chupacabra, the original, the OG?
Oh,
Yes,
take me for a
please.
dunk, big boy.
Give me those sweet, delicious details.
I will say this is, as far as a lot of reports go. I'm sure there is so much more out there. I've tried looking into it, but it's quite hard using the internet and not going to my local library.
Sam, we are Beast of the Week podcast. Our information is infallible. Don't you dare plant doubt in the minds of our audience.
Oh, it's infallible. I'm not saying it's
Cancel
not
your
bad,
cable.
but-
We're your news source.
Good. All right, cool. That's a lot of money for me if I'm now Netflix. So the Puerto Rican Chupacabra is not called the Chupacabra. It is called El Vampiro de Mocha. In 1974, before the name Chupacabra was created, Puerto Rico was plagued by this exact monster. It is centralized around Mocha, thus the name, a Puerto Rican municipality in the Northwest, at the time with a population of around 22,400. Now, this is a very, very small number of a population. I don't believe the U.S. Census Bureau even starts naming areas as existing until they hit 20,000. I tried to find some towns that were relatively around the same size, and they are at the very bottom of the list with this amount of people. So, clearly, if the news got so big, we might have something here. Ooh. It was a reptilian creature matching the description of the 1995 Chupacabra, which caused problems around the region's farmers. At the same time, Puerto Rico, I don't want to correlate and causate, but it saw a massive flap of UFO activity. And we're going to be both covering them chronologically.
All right, I have a thing.
Flap.
That's what they're called. I'm going to cover it. Hold on. I gotta grab
flaps.
something real quick.
All right.
Oh, I had no idea.
He's gotta grab his shirt taken off machine.
Coming in hot to explain the UFO sightings is Jonathan Cannon, MUFON ID 32239. That's the Mutual UFO Network. Now, Sam used a term that you might find funny, a flap of UFO activity. That is what you call a situation, a time and place where there is a massive concentration of UFO sightings and activity in that region. So what we are seeing in Puerto Rico in 1974 and 5, and also in 1995, around the same time. Now, Sam said he doesn't want to correlate and causate, but I do. We are seeing a massive flap of UFO activity that I feel is related. Now, I'm going to cover what is called the Hynek rating. You may have heard of it. We're going to get into better detail about ufology in a future episode, but for now, I'm going to cover the basics of classifying UFO encounters. It's a scale and increasing arrangement of severity. First, you have nocturnal lights, simply seeing lights in the night sky. Second, daylight discs, which is seeing a UFO in the daytime, generally a disc shape. 3 is radar visual, and now that is a sighting with radar confirmation or similar hard evidence from, some type of airspace control. Now we get into the spooky stuff, and this is the stuff you probably heard of. The 4th higher one is the close encounters of the first kind, CE1. This is visual sightings of a UFO at least 500 feet away. Close Encounters of the Second Kind, CE2, is a UFO event with a physical effect. This could be impressions left on the ground, lingering physical effect on witnesses. People will experience dizziness, sickness, long-term confusion, or a chemical trace left behind.
Would this one be considered like where people have reported like lost time?
That's a different thing, and
Is
that
this
could
like
mean
crop
several
Oh,
things.
okay.
It's like what?
Crop circles?
Crop circles would be
Yeah.
a close encounter of the second kind. Next is close encounters of the third kind. Now that's encounters with an animated creature, humanoid, robot, monster, alien, anything that is, a moving creature. Now the following four are less accepted but are regularly reported, as in, most ufologists are on the fence whether we include them, but I'm gonna. Close encounters of the fourth kind, that is human abduction. Now that is where lost time might fall in, because most people think
Gotcha.
that lost time indicates amnesia from an abduction event. Close encounters of the fifth kind is direct communication between extraterrestrials and humans. We're talking with them. Close encounters of the sixth kind, death of a human or animal associated with the UFO. Now, it's not been directly reported because a lot of these have been reported simply as animal mutilations, but I would argue that a lot of what we're seeing during this flap is a close encounter of the sixth kind with all of the animal mutilations. And
Absolutely.
And lastly, we have close encounters of the seventh kind, which is the creation of an alien-human hybrid, like Jesus. So, if there was a babby made, it's a close encounter of the seventh kind. So, we're gonna cover we covered those. They're gonna come up as we discuss the UFO encounters.
Can I ask like a kind of a side question then?
Yes.
Yeah, how often is like a number 10, like Close Encounters of the Seventh Kind?
Extremely rare and never been verified.
Never been verified? Okay.
Not that I know of. I'm sure someone's going to get mad at me.
I feel like if that was verified, then our whole podcast would just be the History Channel.
Sam, are you saying our podcast isn't fact? This is the second time you've doubted us.
Well,
The truth is stupid,
the
Sam.
History Channel is barely fact, so actually...
I'm sorry they have ancient aliens. Sam, you're throwing some harsh words around today.
I was talking about Pawn Stars, but you may continue.
Let's get into these sightings and encounters. So Sam will be telling you about the Vampiro. I'll be telling you about the UFO encounters. But a little thing, UFO reports are very matter of fact, so they're not as fun and sensational, but they are relevant. So
Can you make them fun and
If you
sensational?
put your...
yeah,
Can you do it in a funny voice?
oh yeah,
All right.
Yeah, do it like Carrot Top.
Satisfying.
Use
like
props.
Carrot Top.
Yeah, with props and steroids.
So I'm gonna have a failed movie in the '90s, and then I'm gonna get really into steroids and eyeliner in Vegas and hang out with Gene Simmons. Sounds pretty cool, actually.
but then,
Yeah.
I think the cherry on top is using props on a podcast.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's only for me.
I only have a slide whistle.
That works.
I'll try to use it as appropriately as I can.
I wish we had that more often.
Okay, perfect.
So on
Yeah.
January 12th, I'm not doing it. On January 12th, 1975, in San Juan, Puerto Rico, there were reports of nightlights and a close encounter of the second kind. 3 objects zigzagged north to south, witnessed with clarity for 2 whole minutes. Tripod imprints were left on the ground, equally placed. The same night, there was a close encounter of the fourth kind in San Juan, an abduction involving 2 male witnesses, which I assume means abductees. There's not much information beyond that. There isn't any information beyond that, but it is in the official UFO reports.
All right. So we see our first venture onto the stage of our creature, the Vampiro. The Barrio of Roche lost 15 cows, 3 goats, 2 geese, and 1 pig.
I think feasting.
The autopsies read that the blood had somehow been removed. Authorities discounted this as an attack from wild dogs.
What the
I
fuck
will
kind
say-
of wild dogs do they have?
So you had a pretty good point about this when we were discussing it. Would you like to go into detail?
Actually, I have 2 points to discuss about this, which will shed a little bit of light onto the Mexican Chupacabra, as well as the ability for a wild dog to even do this. is about blood removal. A lot of times when bodies are not brought properly to get an autopsy by a coroner or mortuary or medical examiner, a lot of people think that the blood has left the body. What actually happens in the first stages of decomposition is something called livor mortis, where when you die, obviously blood stops pumping. It actually all moves down to the lowest point of gravity. So, if something were to die, not be moved, or for the most part, not flipped over at least, if you were to cut into it, you wouldn't find blood. It flows to the bottom. That's, in a lot of cases, when you find bodies, they have what looks like bruising all over their backs, their feet, back of the knees, and that is because blood naturally pools there. So that could explain it a little bit, but if Puerto Rican officials are looking at this and they're bringing them to actual mortuaries that know how things die,
or even like a vet,
a
vet would know how an animal dies.
Exactly. I mean, I feel, especially if this is an agrarian locale, they would understand that.
Yeah, exactly,
and they would probably flip it over. If I know it, and it has nothing to do with what I do at work, and on top of the fact that these people know animals, if they say the blood's removed, I'm going to say at this point, they know the blood's actually been removed.
I wish we had more like autopsy information, because I'd want to know like the like, is it just like, a farmer poked it with a stick and it didn't bleed, or was it like they called it an autopsy? But
I mean, we laugh, but that's very possible.
I know. It's shortly after this event with the creature happened in early March 1975 in Mocha, Puerto Rico, same town. There's a close encounter of the third kind, in which an unidentified craft and monstrous occupants were observed by a woman in a yard for a few seconds. Not a lot, but it's a coincidence. Monstrous occupants.
Yeah. How suspicious.
How monstrous is what I would like to know. It's such a shame that we don't have the clout to identify these good folks.
I know.
I would love to be able to have them describe and really tell us, but as far as we know, this is what we have.
Yeah, especially UFO reports, a lot of them are anonymous. Not all of them. We have some coming up that aren't, but a lot of people don't give their names.
Yeah. This is when things start to get a little bit, they start to ramp up, I would say, during March. Would you agree?
It absolutely escalates at this point.
March, shit gets a little bit crazy.
Goes nuts.
A cow was found March 7th, 1975 in Mocha, Puerto Rico, with puncture wounds on its skull. This is also very interesting. On top of the blood being removed, this requires a crazy amount of force. The Journal of Neuroscience says that it takes roughly 2,300 newtons of force, or about 230 psi, that the pressure per square inch, to crack a human skull.
That's a lot.
What's that?
So you might recognize that unit from your tires.
Yeah, psi is just a standardized unit of pressure, I think.
Pounds per square inch, I believe.
Yeah. It's actually derived from tires.
Is it pounds or pressure?
From the, I'm pretty sure it's pounds.
It's
it's
tires of pressure.
It's tires per square inch.
It's pounds per square inch.
Tires.
I'm such a bitch.
Per
the worst part
rubber.
is that so it takes about 230 pounds per square inch to crack a human skull. A lot of cases have been done forensically where they use livestock such as cows or pigs in place of human. So we can say,
why would they do that, Sam?
Because you can't kill people ethically.
What a jokester over here.
We do it daily to livestock. So those are tasty. So we can assume that a cow's density is similar to a human's. If a human takes 230 psi to crack the skull, then we can assume a human is similar. Coyotes cannot do this. They do not have the jaw strength to crack a human skull at all.
That's good.
Wolves can.
Oh.
And I mean, there's no wolves in Puerto Rico.
None at all.
Until someone says, "Hey, I live in Puerto Rico. I have a wolf."
You shouldn't have brought it there.
But at this point, we're going to assume that there isn't a wild pack of wolves killing shit in Puerto Rico.
No, it's just a domestic pack of wolves.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I think there's a Modest Mouse song about that.
Probably.
There are plenty of wild dogs in Puerto Rico, though, and many dogs can crack a human skull, including, Rottweiler, Pit Bull, what else? A German Shepherd,
Yorkshire Terrier,
Chihuahua.
Dachshund.
Nope, golden Retriever can.
They're just too nice.
You guys are making jokes about small dogs. English Bulldog can.
No
Well,
way.
they've been killing bulls for
But it's
30,000
so
years.
small.
They're small and they're chunky, but they could crack a human skull if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they're
Can they
named for
I don't think-
slaughtering. Yeah, that's the biggest.
What are they gonna do? Bite it, like nibble it to death?
So yes, wild dogs, they could crack a skull. Coyotes could not. Impossible. So this is, I can say, not a coyote. And most dogs can't either. So
Yeah, they'd probably have to be real mad.
yeah. I mean, and those are the maddest dogs.
Plus, when you think about a dog getting to the point of cracking a cow's skull, that cow's been fought a good amount at this point. You'd see more dog evidence. There'd be like squeaky toys that they gave up.
You would,
like
I was gonna say defensive wounds of some sort.
kibble
but
just
yeah.
everywhere. It probably peed itself at some
I wouldn't.
point.
Maybe I wouldn't fuck around with a cow though. As a human that can have knife, I wouldn't fight a cow, even with
Coward. My jaw can crack a cow's skull.
Can it fit around it though?
You don't want
Yes.
to see what I can do.
Oh
one.
no.
Yeah, he can unhinge. He can unhinge.
All I'm saying is that all my meat is ethically sourced because I got it. I'm like a snake.
Straight from the source. It's like when you eat tomato and it's still on the vine, like you just kind of dangle under the tomato plant and you just kind of.
I eat it from the vine down. You know in like cartoons when they take a whole thing of grapes and then just like and then eat all.
And they do that. Oh,
That's like me with corn.
with what?
Corn. Stalks of
Corn
corn.
or
Okay, I
porn?
thought you said porn.
Yeah, no, not the
I
cob.
did
That's like
too.
me with porn. I just take strands of porn and just.
Well,
I eat my porn. It's the only way it works for me now.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, we might be a cryptid podcast, but I didn't know we had like fucking one of the like cone heads here. It's like fucking Dan Aykroyd in the studio.
Dan
Gonna
Aykroyd.
sell me some fucking shitty vodka soon.
Listen, if Dan
Oh, no.
Aykroyd was in the studio, we wouldn't need a show. We'd just put a mic in front of him and get him started on Aliens. So don't you dare act like that wouldn't be a gift.
That would be a gift. Yeah, Dan, hit us up.
A few days later from the cow getting bit by me was March 12th, 1975 in Mocha, Puerto Rico. We had a close encounter of the first kind. An object was seen with appearance and performance outside of known aircraft capability. It was 40 feet across and observed in cloudy weather by 11 experienced witnesses, which means they stare at the sky a lot. A lot.
well, what kind
But,
of
like,
experienced witnesses?
a
Like you have
Yeah.
experienced witnesses?
They stare a lot.
Experienced witnesses.
They've seen some shit.
Top
Are they
men.
like Air Force
E.
traffic people?
Experienced
Men.
witnesses. Experienced.
Like meteorologists.
Like Jimi Hendrix, have you ever been experienced? Experienced witnesses.
experienced witnesses.
The
The more you say experienced, the less I think they're experienced.
experienced witnesses noticed that this aircraft emitted an audible noise. That is unique for a lot of UFO encounters.
It went.
Do you know what else makes noise? Aircrafts.
No.
We just said it was an aircraft.
Peace of the Week podcast.
Sam, what else happened on March 12th, 1975?
Some other shit happened on March 12th.
Wait,
John.
don't tell me. I want it to be a surprise.
Okay. So on March 15th.
No, March
No, on March 12th, 1975, also in Mocha, Puerto Rico, A man named Luis Torres and his daughter saw what can be described as police lights over their fields. Later on the next day, mutilated carcasses were found in the very same fields. Now, Luis is going to come back, I believe.
Oh, Luis.
Is he?
Never
No,
stops
he's not.
coming.
You just can't get enough.
No, he's not.
No.
Hey, he's coming back, right? Nope.
No,
He's not. He's gone.
Goodbye,
No.
Luis.
he's not. He's gone. He's gone.
I hope he stays hydrated.
That's
Okay.
okay. Sure.
Kind.
Let that be a lesson to all of our listeners out there. Make sure to drink at least 10 cups of water a day. And if you
Hydration
don't,
break.
You're gonna shrivel up.
You're gonna lose your moisture through your balls. Does
It's
anyone else
true.
lose
Crown
their-
Royal.
What if that was in the football games when they do the Crown Royal hydration break? It's just
This is an old man.
you lose your moisture through your balls. Crown Royal hydration
Everybody else
break.
does the water thing. Yeah, it's hydration break, and it's just an old man being like balls. It causes everybody to need to drink more Crown.
After seeing that, I need me a good drink of Crown.
Crown Royal brought
I
to
need
you
me
by
some
old men
Crown.
discussing genitals.
Balls.
A couple balls.
That old man, Luis Torres.
We
But
brought
those
it back
seconds-
around.
Yeah.
Later on March 15th, it has been 2 weeks since the first reported victim. The death count. Over 90 animals are found dead in Mocha alone.
Damn.
we need to reemphasize. Mocha's a small place. Agrarian.
22,000 people. About.
90 animals in 14
Animals.
days?
Small place, a rural place.
Yeah.
This is devastating to their economy because they farm.
I need a calculator.
You need food.
Yeah.
How
you
many
need food.
bridges?
7.
But could they feel the earthquakes?
I can feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky.
So they're having about there's like about 6.4 animals dying a day.
That's a lot.
I love your number scales.
No, you just did the math. What are you talking about? That's not a scale. That's a.
I thought
No,
That's
my
a statistic.
No, my units of measurement is animals per day. Six, but
yeah, okay. I didn't know you were going with an APD rating. I thought you were giving me like on a scale of animal death for 2 weeks. You were like, it's about a 6.4. Can we rate this death?
A few days later, on March 18th, 1975, in Mocha, Puerto Rico, we had a close encounter of the sixth kind, reportedly as one. There were reported encounters with monstrous beings and animal mutilations reported in the yard. On that same night, in Los Angeles, Puerto Rico, we had a close encounter of the first kind, in which objects were observed, animal reactions reported, which means they fucking looked, and a UFO at close range was observed by one witness, which emitted an audible noise.
It doesn't stop there, John.
It doesn't stop
It
there.
continues.
Oh, no.
That night is the craziest night in Mocha.
Dang!
A farmer named Hector Vega found 2 dead goats.
2?
You know, just 2.
That's a normal
But
amount of dead
that's
goats,
below
though.
the average for that
Yeah.
time. What the hell?
But the next morning, Vega discovered 7 goats injured, 10 goats dead, and 10 gone.
We can reasonably say
trace.
they ran away.
We could reasonably say that, but
We have
They're
10
now
survivor
wild
ghosts.
goats.
That's almost 3 times
Yeah,
the
they
average
could
of
be-
disappeared animals.
10 survivor goats. That's all I'm saying. They're the smart ones.
Unless, what if the UFO stuff is related and those 10 goats got abducted?
that's fucking stupid.
I'm pretty sure that's literally the point we're making.
Oh, I know, yeah. I don't think UFOs ever did anything like that.
UFOs did nothing wrong.
No.
Hashtag.
I believe it.
Hashtag.
Hashtag.
UFOs did nothing
Once
wrong.
it's hashtagged, it's fact.
It's fact.
That's how,
This is
that's how it
true.
works here. Remember to
Yeah.
retweet us at twitter.com. Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
What's
At
Yeah, just tweet it-
twitter.com.
Yeah.
Just tweet at Jeff Bezos. He'll give it to us.
Jeff
he'll-
Bezos will pass it along.
He's our messenger boy.
Yeah, down the grapevine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, according to UFO reports, mysterious explosions were also reported on that very same night.
Audible noises.
Yeah, just like, I assume, I'm kind of doing like a, dramatic re-recording.
Actors, not actual people.
After this, accounts of deaths did fizzle out. But UFO reportings occurred until July 8th. There are a lot of nightlights. Encounters from 1st to 3rd, but not all are definitively linked to the creatures in question. But there are 3 particular ones which do grab our attention.
Yeah, if we were to go over everything that happened in this span, this episode would be like 3 hours long. There was an insane amount of nightlights, insane amounts of just like, small encounters, but the amount is interesting. But
yeah,
3 very interesting ones. One of them was April 6th, 1975 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We have a close encounter of the 3rd kind. And this is a direct quote from it. It's a long one. A radio DJ had an encounter with some sorts of beings. WBM DJ.
No, you didn't say it right.
What?
WBMJ.
WBMJ! DJ heard 3 knocks on the window of a penthouse studio. He went to the window, saw a glowing figure that ran and hid behind hotel parapet. Oval object 40 feet wide, rocking motion. DJ broadcast what just happened. This is a direct quote. I'm sorry for the grammar. On this night in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Willie Lopez, a disc jockey, was working in the penthouse studio of WBMJ atop the Darlington Hotel.
Here with the boys.
You're in the mix.
Jesus.
They're back.
Atop the Darlington Hotel when he heard 3 knocks on the window of the terrace behind his control panel. There's no way for anyone to get out there without going through the studio, and Lopez had seen no one come in. Curious, he went to the window and saw a quote-unquote glowing figure outside that ran and hid behind one of the columns atop the hotel structure. Nervous, he called the station manager, Jose Manuel, in the hotel. He then went back to the window and saw a luminous oval object 40 feet wide, no more than 4 feet from the hotel tower, performing a slight rocking motion in the air. He was so stunned that he pulled the curtains from the curtain rod. He freaked out. Going back to the controls, he cut into the music broadcast to describe to his listening audience what had just happened. About this time, Jose Manuel arrived at the studio. The disc jockey was in such a state of shock that he had to be taken to the hospital and sedated.
Damn.
Jesus.
What do you guys think of that? What do you make?
WBMJ
Well,
hits hard, man.
I mean, I would say I think that's Chupacabra? I don't know anything about glowing. But I don't think, and this is actually a big thing that I've found with the Puerto Rican accounts of ufology, UFOs, as well as the Chupacabra, is they take them incredibly serious, and it's a little bit less hush-hush than what we know in the U.S. And so there's people called, things broadcasted.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I would believe this person.
This one sounds
Definitely
about right
something
to me.
was seen.
It's a little weird to me that the radio station is on the top of a hotel.
I mean,
But,
Well,
like,
I mean-
I think that's just me.
yeah, it doesn't seem that out there.
I don't think that's what needs to be.
I'm pretty sure that one's just
not-
verifiable.
not to be dismissed, but I think the location of the radio could probably be followed up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plus
no, that's
If it's
fair.
not, then this is just a silly thing.
yeah. I don't know, that one's interesting to me just because there's a lot of detail, and I'd be curious if we could find a recording of the broadcast. I wasn't able to, but if anyone has
Yeah.
those Puerto Rican connections that we don't have, check it out. See if we can find Willie Lopez freaking out at aliens. That would be incredible.
April 6th, 1975, if anyone
Look into it. Maybe George Norrie did something. Shortly after April 17th, 1975, back in Mocha, Puerto Rico, close encounter of the 6th kind. Orlando Franceschi, a janitor... Franceschi, whatever. Janitor at St. Luke's Hospital. This motherfucker who was a janitor at St. Luke's Hospital fought off the approach of a humanoid he described as, now this isn't me, this is a quote, I don't like this word, like a midget with long ears and nose, 2 black spots for eyes, and jaws like a monkey's. Interesting.
Wow, that sounds pretty on point.
Yeah, and it's a very fun way to describe it.
That is.
This guy...
Hey, Sam, did you happen to look up the jaw statistics for monkeys?
I did not get the exact number, but I'm pretty sure apes and chimps are fucking, like, the strength that they can,
chop on,
inhabit is crazy.
Yeah.
They can rip off your face. It's
that's why I was curious.
I would not assume a monkey or any kind of I guess an ape or anything like that could definitely crush a skull.
We got the short end of the stick on the primate thing when it comes to using our teeth.
Yeah, sometimes I can't even eat like Mountain Dew. It crunched too hard. When I try to drink my Monster Energy, it crunched too hard.
This is my favorite part because this guy's a real fella in my book for this.
Real dude.
He hit the creature 3 times with a shovel before losing his balance and was unable to move until the creature left in a UFO. Now this poor guy, this is a weirdly common theme. He had to be kept under sedation in the hospital for 2 days following this. These guys, like, they get fucked up over this. Like, they are not okay.
Yeah.
How does he know that the creature left in a UFO?
I'm assuming
he watched it.
Unable to move, but he could watch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that, like, momentary paralysis is pretty common in UFO encounters.
It's probably because you're really freaked out by that.
I was just, like, picturing it in, like, happening in, like, maybe the middle of a hallway or something. But, like...
No, I think...
Most of the happening actually is in the middle of a hallway, the movie.
The what?
Most of the happening movie is in one hallway, yeah.
Oh.
Ha ha.
And then one more in 1975, and this is the last of this particular flap of UFO encounters. It stops abruptly. There's no more reported in Puerto Rico after this for the rest of the year, which is odd. Usually there's 1 or 2. Nothing. This is back in San Juan on May 4th, a close encounter of the third kind, in which tracks were left behind, lights were observed, occupants seen, and Bigfoot was seen.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Right. Now there's
Bazinga.
some authors who some author like Nick Redfern loves to say that UFOs are connected to every fucking cryptid in the world, but Bigfoot is often associated with UFO activity.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have like off the top of my head stats about that, but it's not uncommon to hear about that. Now, in this encounter, witnesses saw humanoid creatures surrounding a craft, but they also witnessed a Bigfoot-like humanoid. On the ground following this, there were 24-foot diameter burn marks on the ground, along with a 14-inch long, 3-toed Bigfoot print, 50 inches apart each.
3 toes?
3-toed. Now, that is different, because every Bigfoot footprint is 5-toed. This is not necessarily the Bigfoot we know.
So you speaking of this Bigfoot that's connected to the UFO stuff reminds me of the Come Cogoyos, which is a Puerto Rican Bigfoot. It's really limited in location. It's like in one specific part of Puerto Rico, and it eats the hearts of plants, which is why it's called the Come Cogoyos.
Okay.
It means heart eater. Or like
Sick.
Cogoyos. Yeah,
that's pretty
Cogoyos
dope.
is like heart of plant, like heart of like lettuce or something.
Like an artichoke.
Yeah.
Palm hearts.
Yeah. So, and come means to eat. Comer.
Okay.
So I thought that was really interesting with you talking about Bigfoot and the name being so similar to like Chupacabra meaning goat sucker.
Yeah, they're very literal with their names. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That there's a similar Bigfoot creature. I wonder if we could find more 3-toed Bigfoot accounts based off this. I'd be curious to see what kind of correlations we find with that.
Sam, what kind of animals
Might be-
in the real world got 3 toes?
Me, fish,
The Ninja Turtles.
Sloths.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not that type of biologist.
Damn it, Sam.
I think frogs do. Sloths? Yeah, sloths.
Yeah, do reptiles have that?
I think some do.
It really, I would assume it goes into like every order. Like
Plants?
there's probably something
Plants.
with 3. Yeah. I've got the 3-toed potato growing in my garden right now.
Is that in season right now?
It's never in season.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, no. Potatoes, they're like a winter thing.
Winter roots.
3-toed winter.
Yeah, a 3-toed winter. January, June, February.
Yep.
The winter months.
The winter months. Now, much like the Beast of the Week podcast, the Chupacabra went into dormancy for quite some time. 20 years to be exact.
It's pretty close to how long we were out.
Wow.
That's how long it
No,
felt,
I'm
right,
so
listeners?
old now.
Can't wait for 2038.
It's going to be awesome. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. So the legend says.
The prophecy foretells of
The
it.
prophecy foretells.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have seen that witch doctor.
Listen, I went to the doctor. They're like, the doctor's through here. And I was like, which doctor? And they're like, oh, that's over there. And I...
Hoo-hee-hoo-ha-ha.
You can't trust... You can't trust medical professionals, people. Do not get your vaccine.
Oh my god.
And then
Hey!
then he just shellacked you with CBD. just like ribs on the grill, baby. He just fucking took a paintbrush and was just like, this is CBD. It's gonna make y'all better.
The witch doctor. Witch doctor?
Who's on first?
Witch doctor. So,
Witch doctor?
in 1995, the Chupacabra of Puerto Rico reared its pretty little face again.
Allegedly not pretty.
I kissed it.
That means nothing.
Nice.
Fair point.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Fair point.
So, March 1995. Salto Cabra, Puerto Rico. A UFO creature combination. We have both animal mutilation and a close encounter of the third kind. We have 2 police officers called out to a ranch where 8 lambs were found mutilated and drained of blood. The reporting officers saw a 4-foot creature on the side of the road and proceeded to experience headaches and dizziness.
Ooh.
That's rough.
When it says that they saw them...
Oof. That's rough. Whoa. Mondays.
Monday.
Am I right?
Was it a
Mondays.
Monday?
Someone look at
It
that.
doesn't
up.
say
it doesn't
the
have a
day.
It
date.
does not say, it just says
Aw,
March.
damn.
It was a Monday.
So it probably was.
Just
March is a Monday.
Which I will say, March is like a standard, that early springtime.
That's true.
I've seen a lot of these.
They
Spring's
Yeah.
the time.
they come out of hibernation.
Yeah. Hibernacion.
I'm assuming that when they saw the 4-foot creature off the side of the
Oh
road,
my
that it
God.
was...
Peeper's like a hawk.
It's a
Do you think they saw the earthquake?
little
What?
fucking.
Do you think they saw the earthquake?
No, they're not tall enough.
Fuck off!
They're not tall enough to detect it, Johnny. Come on.
Oh, fair point.
I hate all of you. I'm assuming that this creature was alive and not dead.
Yes, I believe it was living.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd probably have
Okay.
it right now.
Yeah, it probably ran away.
I'd have it
a good
taxidermied
point.
on
It
my
skedaddled. A big
Oh.
comical fucking cane came out and it kind of pulled it out.
bedroom.
Oh.
Pulled it
way.
off the stage.
And then Bigfoot
Yeah.
comes out. He's like, "That's all, folks."
No, folks.
So there was kind of another situation that went down in May of 1995 in Barranquitas, Puerto Rico. It's a close encounter of the third kind. So this involves Senor Dolores Torres. It's a fun name. He went out to cut banana plants when he saw an array of blue, yellow, red, and white lights, which illuminated his surroundings.
Chromotherapy.
Chromotherapy. Yeah, he probably just walked into one of those things. It was like, oh shit, I'm so chill right now. I wish I had some CBD.
Oh man, these are banana plants? I wanted CBD plants.
Shit.
The
smoke banana peels.
mystical CBD plant.
The mystical CBD banana
Chronic
plant.
Yeah.
banana dependence.
Ooh.
So Senor Torres saw a transparent cylinder, which is about 14 inches long and 3 inches wide, and it seemed to be held in place by a cable.
Is this just like a shitty B movie that was played at a drive-in? We're like, oh, the UFO is coming, and it's just like on a string.
Yeah,
It's just a colander on a string.
But he heard loud buzzing noises too, John.
Oh, never mind. Fuck me then.
So
Movies
It's
don't
just
buzz.
bees.
This man-
It's a bee movie.
this dude
Shut up!
is in the craziest low-budget rave of all time.
Sounds awesome.
Just one cylinder of light moving around by a cable, a couple blue, yellow, red, white lights just around, and just
This festival sucks.
Coachella sucks this year. Moments later, a large humanoid was floating or flying at him. Ah! he described it as being a humanoid in a dark wing-shaped outfit with a human-like face, gray in color, with huge eyes and wearing a super tight-fitting helmet.
Just doesn't fit.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's a fucking weird rave.
It's Bat Squatch.
This is the 90s. Rave culture was crazy then.
Is this just like a Daredevil? Like Evil Knievel?
So this...
I thought you were talking about the guy.
This
Oh no, I
Superhero.
meant the actual.
I was thinking Darkwing Duck, honestly.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
a duck bill though.
We don't know that.
We don't
We
know
don't
that.
know
It didn't
that.
say that, but it did say he had a human-like face.
So we're all just immediately like on our fucking haunches, like we don't know that. We don't know that.
Not a sense
don't
of
know that.
humor in any of our voices.
We don't know
That
that.
was dead serious. Like, we don't know that.
No, we don't know that for sure.
We don't know that. Could have been Darkwing Duck. We don't know that.
We're just like... we're just like... We don't talk like that here.
We don't speak.
Hold
in
on. We
absence. Oh, we're on hold. We're on hold. No, but for the time being, honestly, this is like this guy Torres. He's walking through his banana field. They grow in fields, right? Yeah, and bushes.
Sure.
Um,
Bushes.
They're the
Trees.
banana
Roads?
bugs. So
You
he's,
know
he's-
banana trees
he's
are
waiting-
technically a fern?
I did not.
What?
Now you know.
So he's wading deep, like waist deep
Thanks,
in the
John.
banana bugs. And he sees this huge humanoid with a human-like face flying at him while a cylinder is in the back and there's lights everywhere and just hearing bzzz. So this thing just is coming up to him and then he just swings his machete at it.
This dude interrupted a Jackass filming.
All right, he's like...
Yeah, it's true. It was a party boy skit.
It's fucking
It's just-
Steve-O floating at him like, I'm Steve-O, and this is the Batman.
this is the Batman. He's like, ah! Bzzz, and
Just
swing.
smacked with a fucking machete.
Smacked it with a machete. So then the cylinder glided away. If you can recall, it's like
What
this
the fuck?
this 14-inch long, 3-inch wide, glowing cylinder suspended by probably a cable, but it glided away. But anyway, this guy Torres, he collapsed and was hospitalized. And I would assume, now we don't know for sure, but he was probably sedated for multiple days.
Probably.
I mean, he that's an ordeal.
Seems to be the theme.
What
Yeah.
a what
If
a
we've
what a
learned nothing
shitty
else
festival.
today.
Seriously, fucking Firefly sounds more like shitty man fly.
Banana bug.
Oh, with Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
The Jeff Goldblum movie. Shitty Man Fly.
Oh my god.
Honestly, it's a very literally colorful sighting.
It was.
If only everything that happened that we talk about was as awesome as that. To be honest, I'd be psyched if that happened to me.
Oh yeah, like, can you imagine if you're
It's-
waiting in your
it's-
banana
it's-
bogs, and then you're just like, whoa, look at all these fingers, but you got a machete the whole time,
I always bring a machete to festivals.
dude. That's why we're not allowed anymore.
Listen, and I'm just grooving with a machete, just like
Just friggin' swinging it around.
got a machete and a bullwhip. It's Temple of Doom.
You're like trying to like spin fire, but it's just your machete.
Yeah,
That's still pretty cool.
don't object to the way I express myself. This is a festival. It's a festival.
He expresses with sharpness.
A festival of sharpness. I'd go to that.
Yeah.
So later on that year, August 95, in the nighttime, just in case, in Dorado, Puerto Rico, not to be confused with El Dorado, where in the cartoon the guy got a blowjob. You know that? You got blowjob.
It's true.
I
Yeah.
love gold. That one?
That movie
Yeah,
is so
that one.
fucking
Austin
good.
Powers?
Yeah, Austin Powers.
I love Austin Powers. Gold member.
Gold
Classic.
member. I love movies where a guy plays 18 people.
Me too.
There was
It's quite cheap.
Jack and
Yes.
Jill.
Jack and Jill, cinematic masterpiece.
Fucking nightmare on screen.
In Dorado, Puerto Rico, there was a close encounter of the Jill kind, of the third kind.
Oh, God. Nightmare.
In which a disc descends and it drops off. And this isn't me putting this in, this was in the UFO report. It drops off, and you can trust me, I'm MUFON member 32239, field investigator in training.
Oh, I'm stealing your identity.
MUFON's gonna be mad. It drops off several chupacabra-like creatures and two larger creatures, and they march in single file. Possibly, we're talking about chupacabras and their overlords, como que goyos. Maybe we just have a jungle version of the small gray and the large gray. That'd be sick.
Oh, maybe.
This is way cooler than the small gray and the tall gray. They're unlikely friendship. It's a buddy movie.
Mm-hmm. And then they ride off on Nessie, called Atreyu. Wait, no,
well,
Atreyu was the kid. Falcor.
Falcor, yes.
Falcor.
Sam,
They're covered in shit. This is awful.
so the strange party of funny little critters approached a lagoon, and the water bubbled mysteriously. They brought it to a boil.
Oh.
Which is useful.
Ooh, little
It's
jacuzzi.
useful.
Listen, if this is like, all right, TV show idea. You know, on the Flintstones, all the dinosaurs perform useful tasks, and that's the technology.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cryptid version of it. We got chupacabras and Bigfoots boiling our pasta. We got some other stuff going on.
I feel like there's better uses for both of those.
Sam,
than
Yeah.
boiling water.
what else would they do?
Did they have fire in the Flintstones?
Yeah, but it would be quicker.
They don't need it. It'd probably be quicker, but big feet, good road, pave.
You all right? You proved my fat face wrong. Thanks, Sam.
Maybe the chupacabra is like the of the bank. Just the
He's a tube guy.
and that's a, he sucks the bills.
So you're saying the chupacabra just eats my paycheck?
But
Yeah.
then where's the money go?
That's the problem. It's a bad economy when it's based on goat suckers.
That's the Chupa De Niro,
Chupa De Niro.
the money sucker.
The money sucker.
Which honestly, you could start calling me that. There's also another sighting, August 15th, same month, not same day, in Cano Vanas, Puerto Rico,
PR.
with Guillermo del Toro. Was first.
Nice.
Madeline Tolentino was among the first to see the creature itself.
in 95.
It is just what's that?
In 95, among the first in 95.
Yeah, in '95.
Among the first-
we're not,
This is
we
Chupacabra TM.
yeah, we can split them up into Vampiro,
Yeah.
Democa territory, and we're on a different strata in the Earth's crust of history, where we're in Chupacabra territory.
Okay, I understand.
As I'm sure in 2,000 years the fossil records will,
Will reflect.
let us. Yeah, it'll be obvious. But then again, podcasts are going to get beamed to your brain. Madeline Tolentino was among the first to see the creature itself, the Chupacabra. Described it as a 4-foot-tall creature with dark skin, skinny yet muscular arms and legs. I guess we can pretty much just say
Twitch muscle.
I would say the Chupacabra is a twink. So it appeared to have burn marks
That's
down
why he
its
hangs out with the
abdomen.
Bigfoots.
Yeah,
Twinks and bears.
yeah, he's
all
just
coming
like
together now.
All
he's the
cryptids
twin-
are part
yeah.
of the gay community.
You
I
don't know
love it.
you don't know that, but.
But maybe.
We can re-describe the other thing in earlier, possibly in August, as disc descends, drops off several twink-like creatures and 2 twunk-like creatures in a single file.
That's why the guy went to a rave. And he got chased off.
Oh my god.
It's all panning out.
We just blew the shit wide open.
But
so
for real, we
back-
shouldn't.
back-
it's not
back
nice to
yeah.
speculate about creatures' sexuality.
Yeah.
That is true.
I mean,
we don't know
if
that.
it's an alien, if it's an alien, then it's probably got way more than we got.
Definitely into butt stuff, though.
Well,
aliens are known for that.
You don't know that. So we're gonna
Don't I?
We're gonna dig this shit fucking 7 feet deep. So this creature, described as 4 feet tall with dark skin, skinny yet muscular arms and legs, appeared to have burn marks down its abdomen and feathers. Now this is the first time that we've seen feathers down its spine. Could these?
Well, the thing is, it's like dinosaurs.
This is what I'm fucking saying.
The thing is, dinosaurs didn't used to, but
Yeah.
the new dinosaurs do. Every dinosaur recently discovered have feathers, but before that, they all had skin.
Okay, but imagine this.
Okay.
These feathers, I'm assuming they're pretty small. What if they're just all very small vertebrae? Like spinal columns?
I think you're thinking whiskers.
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Kind of like how earlier with the spinal columns just floating in the
no,
breeze.
I know what you meant.
They're
I'm just trying to block it out.
tiny.
Yeah, we're just trying to. We're just trying to
I've
derail.
tightened my bandana so the blood flow doesn't allow me to hear what you're saying because it's terrifying, and I don't want to drink the rest of the gin downstairs in order to sleep.
I don't know, I think tinier ones is less scary than big flappy ones.
Any external
think tinier
spines
ones
are a
are
problem.
worse.
If your spine is external to any capacity, if it's the one spine, if it's extra spines, it should be in you.
That's what she said.
Put your spine back in you.
Oh, baby.
Fine, back in you.
Okay,
please
well,
continue. I'm sorry.
I don't want to think about spines coming out my toes.
But you can think about
coming
something
out of your spines.
That's
Yeah.
too many spines.
I would agree.
I have enough trouble with the one.
which is kind of how spines work, but they don't work in a T-junction. It's a fucking highway. There's no exits.
There's no arterial exits?
Spines are a highway. I'm gonna ride
I'm
it all
gonna ride
the way.
them all.
Don't ride spines. You guys are mistreating backbones.
I'm sorry.
These poor spines. Also on August 15th in 95, in Yuncos, Puerto Rico, there were nightlights in a possible close encounter of the third kind, where luminous oval objects hovered for a few minutes and then shot north. And I can't definitively say this is related, but one naked 3.5-foot hairy dwarf was seen along the highway.
Stop. What?
This is in the UFO report.
No. But is that like, is there any fucking correlation there? Or he was like, also, by the way, fucking craziest thing I've seen.
Are you wondering if Peter Dinklage was there? No.
All I fucking have is the UFO report. And all I'm saying is it's not impossible that someone just saw a little person on the highway who hadn't shaved. And
I will say,
And also naked?
and also
listen,
naked.
man,
Well,
shit happens. You're from Provincetown. You
That's
know that people
true.
run around naked quite frequently.
Yeah.
Did that actually happen there?
Yeah, your dad told me a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I will say, very, very important. This might seem very funny. Let's put an asterisk near 3.5-foot dwarf seen along the highway.
Okay.
Remember that. This is my Chekhov's cryptid.
Oh,
Dog ear it. It's a
Dog
Manigeshi.
ear that shit.
I'm putting a pin
No.
in it.
Okay.
Not in that poor fella. He's been through enough. He's naked. He's hairy. He's short.
He's got less
and
surface
you're putting
area.
pins in him.
He's got precious surface area that
I'm
you're putting
sorry.
pins in.
Here, I'll just put the two pins under his arm so he can just hang there, and they're not impaled.
That's awful.
This
This
is
is worse. You're
mistreatment.
What?
crucifixing
No,
now.
not through his arm, just like under, so he can like rest his arms on it.
That's still
How big are your pins?
basically how
They're
crucifixions
nails.
work.
They're railroad spikes to hold up a person.
I thought it would be comfortable.
It's
Give him a chair.
okay, Pontius Pilate. Let's fucking continue.
All right, little fella, take the chair over there from the humane parts of this podcast. Someone tell me what happened 3 days later. Christ. Since when is
Don't
Toria
have
the
them
bad
3
person
doors
on this
down.
podcast?
I don't know why she's crucifixing people.
I wasn't crucifixing him.
Crucifixing isn't the verb.
It's crucified.
I know, it's funnier to say, though.
Crucifixins are what you have on the Easter ham.
Okay.
On August
right.
18th, 1995, in Salto Cabra, Puerto Rico, a close encounter of the third kind. A luminous disc 40 feet across, with a row of dark windows hovered near a radio tower. There was an electromagnetic effect on the station power. 2 children saw a 4-foot-tall being with a spiny crest on its back
Shut your mouth.
and red eyes in the nearby park.
She said spine, and I saw that gleam in her eyes that made me want to just run away and just drink away the spines.
It's like two Peter Dinklages saw a spiny crest with.
You know that
That is-
Peter
that is-
Dinklage is not a child, nor is he 2 distinct different children.
Well,
He's an
you don't
incredible
know.
actor, though. I wouldn't put it past him.
That's true.
He could. How do you know that's not gold member?
That is terrifying, though, because imagine you're just with your buddy in the park. You know, you're playing some stickball, and
Open stick.
and you see a spine boy with red eyes just staring at you like, that's stranger danger.
That's not stranger danger. That's. I've smoked too much weed. I have to leave. I have to go home and contemplate moving out of the state.
I mean, if
These aren't my friends anymore, and they
what
hate
kind
me
of
for my
weed is
red-eyed
there
friend.
that you see a 4-foot-tall being with a spiny crest on back and red eyes in the nearby park?
Acid.
That's not weed.
Yeah,
I would say
I know.
one too.
These
one too
children
many,
got laced by an older boy.
Oh.
That was
A
the older
5-foot-tall
boy.
being.
A chupacabra gave drugs to a child?
Oh no.
Yeah.
This is an innocence cabra.
I think this is the big one, the Casamigos or whatever.
Come Cogoyos?
Casamigos.
What in the fuck? I missed it.
These poor kids.
So on September 8th of 1995, at night in Canovanos, Puerto Rico, we get to see a super exciting animal mutation and a close encounter of
Nope.
the third
Not mutation.
kind.
An animal
Not
mutation
much, yeah.
is super exciting, though. Ninja Turtles has been rebooted
so
like
that's-
8 times.
Oh god, so this is not exciting. It's an animal mutilation.
Yeah, that still can be exciting.
That's not exciting.
It could be exciting.
Depends on your
Depends on the
taste.
animal.
So they saw a creature crouched next to a mutilated goat in the backyard and made very loud buzzing noises before it ran away. So we got another classic rave situation.
Now, I'd like to actually
We got
insert
another
here.
rave.
There is a recording. I can't verify if it's real or not. It's an audio recording of the sound a chupacabra makes mid-suck. So this chippy fella made loud buzzing noises while it ran away.
Yeah, this thing just was next to a mutilating goat, just buzzing and sucking, and then
Goat.
Buzzing and sucking.
No, the goat was mutilated.
Mutilating goat.
A mutilating goat.
It doesn't. You know,
Sorry,
clarify.
back to a
Different
couple
cryptid.
episodes.
It doesn't mute. Yeah,
Like 10 episodes ago.
we did cover a mutilating goat.
Did
So
indeed cover mutilate. This was a
true.
mutilated goat,
We'll
and
try-
it was neither doing the sucking nor buzzing.
I will say, if the chupacabra met the goat man, now there is a movie.
I
don't
think
think they'd be
that's
friends.
just a
No, yeah.
rom-com.
I was gonna say like a kaiju movie, but you could turn everything into banging if you really want to.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
the goat sucker.
Doesn't mean the dick. We
You don't
covered
know
that the
that.
goat
But
man's
it
genitals
doesn't.
are
But
a
it
question
doesn't
mark.
not
You don't know that.
mean the dick.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it would be a violent blowjob.
Oh my.
Maybe he likes that.
I was thinking definitely more of like a, oh baby, I hear the. Wait.
What?
Yeah?
Let me
Frasier?
think of this.
What does Frasier
Oh yeah,
have to do with
definitely,
this?
definitely. Between the Goat Man and the Chupacabra, if it was a sitcom, it'd be like,
So it's the fucking
Oh, baby,
Odd
I-
Couple.
oh baby, I hear the goats a calling, tossed salad and scrambled kids.
Let's not talk about tossed salad. The Kappa isn't even here. We got a lot of throwback references going.
Like,
on.
he's there,
you guys
he's
have to
there
go
too,
back
but
and
they
watch all
showed
these.
him more in front. He was in Cheers.
Where everybody sucks your blood. So that's my last one. And to get any of these references, go back to episode 1 and listen your way through.
Go back to Cheers.
Go back to Cheers. Watch.
Go home.
Go home.
On September 16th, 1995, in Canovanos as well, there is another close encounter of the third kind, in which a loud humming noise was heard. Humanoid monsters landed in the backyard. The witness shot it, and the creatures flew away. It doesn't say if they were in a UFO or not. I like to choose that they were flying, but there's no evidence to say that short of the guy who really harshed the rave.
Man, Canovanos was
It was popping.
getting pretty fucked up in that time.
Yeah, it's like Mocha was. It was Canovanos.
They just were like, yo, fuck this one place in particular.
It's probably pretty crazy that all these places are getting notified, and there's the UFO sightings. That's the end of the UFO sightings.
Right.
But creature sightings even continue in other places.
Oh yeah.
Like in November 15th, 1995, in Caguas, Puerto Rico, Bernardo Gomez saw a beast in an open bedroom window, and it fucked up a teddy bear.
Oh shit!
Which is specific, but
Wow.
to something that is not of this world. Might think it's flesh
Yeah, that's true.
based.
Your teddy bears aren't made of flesh?
What are you, poor?
What? I guess. That's the weirdest Toy Story 5 I ever thought of. But
Enter the flesh.
it left a enter the flesh, Woody.
Oh, no.
the flesh,
no.
Woody.
Oh no!
I am
made him a
uncomfortable.
Wah, wah, wah.
There's a knife in my boot.
There shouldn't be
It
a
left
knife
a
near that.
puddle of slime. So this creature in Caguas left a puddle of slime and rancid meat on the
Oh, it was a
windowsill.
present.
Ugh.
Maybe. Could we had we done things right?
I
Could
think.
we have domesticated the chupacabra?
I mean,
Possibly.
one was shot 2 months earlier.
But I'm saying earlier, like way earlier. If we had done things right from the very beginning, could have domesticated it. Would have been useful for the banks.
That's true. For the banks.
Yeah,
The blood banks?
for the banks.
Sure.
Maybe.
All sorts of banks.
Uh,
Sperm
Yo.
banks.
everything that sucks.
Yeah.
Anything that needs sucking, they'll put it in the bank.
Chupa dinero.
Yep. Chupa dinero. Bada bing, bada boom.
I don't know a lot of Spanish.
That's an aborque.
You're
The
learning.
following day, on
Yes.
November 16th, 1995, in San Germain, Puerto Rico, residents chased one away that was about to kill some roosters.
They're taking the power back.
Yeah.
Brave people.
Fight that bitch. It's 4 feet tall.
January 8th, 1996. This thing killed a pair of sheep.
A pair.
In
It's
kind
a
of
weird quantity of sheep.
In
A
kind
pair of
of
sheep.
So this is a couple months after. This is like what was that? Like 4 months afterwards?
November? That's
No,
2 months.
In
Nope.
in
The
Canovanos.
location.
yeah, it's 2 months.
No, the other one was in Saint Germain. No, the last one in Canovanos,
Canovanos,
was
yeah.
September.
Yep.
Now flashing forward to January, they were back to me like, you know what? Fuck that place. Went killed a pair of sheep, and then when Jose Fibo saw it sitting in a tree, and when the creature noticed him staring, it jumped down and ran away gracefully.
Gracefully was importantly
Like-
noted, and I think that says something. This
Beautiful.
thing's athletic.
This thing has the grace of
Songwriter Tiny Tim.
Songwriter Tiny Tim.
Yes.
Tiptoe
Yep.
through the tulips.
Yeah.
Remember how there's an entire SpongeBob episode set to
Yeah.
his music? That was sick.
Yeah.
It was,
It always made me a little uncomfortable.
And also a horror movie.
yeah, me too. Tiny
There
Tim
was
makes
both
me
a
uncomfortable.
SpongeBob
Yeah.
and an Insidious.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
The two things.
the two
Yeah,
the two
it's two things where it's weird. in both.
He is unsettling to be heard at any, like, you can't walk into any room where Tiny Tim is playing and and feel comfortable, but even if it has been playing, the vibe stays, that lingers in a room.
You shouldn't walk into any room where Tiny Tim is playing.
Tiny Tim is like an icky fart. It lingers in a room.
It's like a sloppy orgy of audio. Don't go in that room.
It's smacking around.
It's not even catering.
So then
for the orgy.
March 9th, and
for
this,
the orgy.
The orgy. On March
Here for the orgy.
On March 9th, 1996, in Aguas Buenas, Puerto Rico, one Ovidio Mendez was burying some of his mutilated chickens, so it already struck. When the creature returned...
Well, you don't know that he could have mutilated his own chickens.
You raise a solid point, and I am not willing to speak to the innocence of this man now that I think of that. He was burying mutilated chickens from some sort of assailant when the creature returned to what may have been the scene of the crime.
Whether by him or the other guy.
A crime has occurred.
A crime had happened.
So the creature came to a scene of a crime. It may be his crime, but we can't definitively say who mutilated the chickens. Thank you for checking my semantics there. Yeah, that
Jesus.
Dangerous assumptions.
You get one per episode.
But the creature was 4 foot tall, had a mouthful of large fangs, red eyes. This one, though, had pointed ears and claw-like hands. We covered the claw-like hands, but the pointed ears hasn't been noted yet.
He's probably really bad at playing the drums.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
I mean, I don't know for sure. Just speculation.
He's more of a...
With claws.
I like how you're ever the skeptic about all your own thoughts.
Well, I don't know that.
It's true.
This is the end of Puerto Rico's UFO flaps and Chupacabra sightings. It's very interesting that they line up so well, since Sam is a coward and won't make correlation and causation, and I guess I won't right now, but I do. Right now. Do you consider the sources, do you come from different fields in a way? Like, they're related, but ufology tends to take itself a lot more seriously and in a different direction than cryptozoology does. And so it feels like they don't have the same, what's the word I'm thinking of? Incentive to report on similar things, like similar occurrences.
Or legitimize.
Legitimize?
Yeah.
You
feel like No, I feel like cryptozoology often doesn't take itself as, and this is a whole thing, as a science.
Preach, Sam.
In the same sense that other sciences do. Actually, yes, thank you, John. Thank you. I'm getting up on my soapbox. That's the slap of my feet on the soapbox. I actually have a bone to pick with cryptozoology, and
pick that bone.
Those that are cryptozoologists, feel free to call me out. I have not seen this.
I'm calling you out. I'm a cryptozoologist.
Maybe this is pop.
Drop your home address. Offer to fight them.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the last 4 years.
I'll drop them. It's 2227.
Do it.
So, how come cryptozoology wants to be taken seriously? We have fantastic cryptozoologists, ufologists. We got Lauren Coleman, we have Patterson, we have Corrales, that take themselves very seriously, and I do respect them for what they do. But on a grand scheme of things, as a science, how come when we view cryptids, we are not looking to categorize them as if they are real? I feel like there's this hesitation and cynicism if something is real or not, which kind of undermines the whole science of cryptozoology and understanding what could be, because at the end of the day, the truth is stupid. So why don't we classify our animals from now on? I will say animals from now on.
All right.
You know, at a certain point, yes, we might have found fossil records of the coelacanth, and that might have given a little bit better idea to what we know as the fish it is today, alive and well. But why aren't we classifying our cryptids?
Yeah,
and I have a couple cryptids that might fit in the same family, not species, but I would say family or phylogeny as our very own Chupacabra.
That's
And
exciting.
Yeah.
I do have one thing to throw out, and for all of you listeners who are interested in reading up on cryptozoology on your own, his books are incredibly hard to find. They've been out of print for a long time. If you can get your hands on them, check out Bernard Heuvelman. This guy founded the school of cryptozoology and really wanted it to be legitimate, like Sam's talking about. This guy, he has this book that I'm halfway through reading, On the Track of Hidden Animals, I believe it's called. And he backs up all these claims. He brings up like confirmed animals that we once thought were false. Like this is back in like the 30s. So this is like not that far from when we realized that the mountain gorilla was real. That when we realized that the platypus was real. Like he was in the thick of it, and he was a major advocate for giving these things some credit and making them into a legitimate science. So I'm on board, and Sam's right. A lot of modern cryptozoologists have kind of strayed from that.
Yeah, we treat it as something paranormal, but if we truly believe it's real, then we should treat it as such.
Absolutely. So tell us about this group of similar boys.
And I have one that actually fits very well into that, and why if we feel that these are real, we should protect their environment, and also the other animals there. We shouldn't just protect a specific cryptid's environment. We shouldn't save a forest because we think Bigfoot's there. We should save a forest because it's a fucking forest. But starting off, way across the seas, in the Philippines, we have a creature called the sigbin. It is a South Philippine carnivore that, unlike the chupacabra, does not just stick to livestock. It is a mixture of features, but it's said to lean towards marsupial and bovine, so less reptilian, less canine.
So it's like a livestock itself.
Yeah, like a cow, ape, something like that. Closer to that than canine and reptilian.
I can't picture that. That's incredible.
So a cow ape? Is that what you said?
A little bit, with like kind of like a canine body structure, but not. Doesn't have like the elongated nose.
I've had the hardest time picturing this of anything that we've ever talked about.
Holy shit, my brain.
I'd love to send you pictures, but it's goddamn awful. Can you give me an example
of noise it might make? That might help me picture it better. Oh, I see it.
I don't want to make the noise this thing does.
No. Okay. I see it now.
Gross.
And it goes bop 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 bop. That's just Hunter throwing up. So it does do some weird stuff. It does not make sense in a way. I was gonna say it doesn't make sense in a sense. It walks with its head below its waist, so kind of like it's always bent down. It's showing off them nice legs.
That's my least favorite thing in every horror movie, when anything's walking like that.
Yeah, it's that long leg.
It's disgusting.
Fucking, yeah, it's definitely. I don't think it's.
It's unwholesome.
Opportune. Yeah, it's definitely unwholesome. It's not heavily reported to date, but then again, I don't think cryptozoology is as reported and known in other countries as it is in the US. Please correct me. I would love to know everything about other cryptids that aren't, Western based.
We should just start making wild claims so people write in to correct us so we can learn more.
I mean,
crowdsource our research.
Yeah.
Martyr of the week, baby.
Martyr of the week.
So there's no definite cluster of sightings like we've seen with the chupacabra, but sightings in general of this ghost-like creature with a terrible stench.
Stinky boy.
It doesn't just drink blood. It's possible that it drinks the blood for vitamins, metals, and electrolytes, because it's
like a supplement.
Yeah, it's the V8 protein in the morning shake after you're hungover. Yeah, because it does drink the blood, but it feeds on the corpse itself. Now this is when it gets a little bit supernatural. It drinks the blood from the shadow of victims. It does not drink it directly.
That's scary.
I don't know. Now we're starting to drift off.
That doesn't mean I'm uninterested.
Into. Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like it's. I feel like the chupacabra, from what we've said, incredibly possible.
Yes.
Probably one of the most possible things we've had on the show yet, which is very surprising to me as someone that has long time thought Chupacabra is a 1995 hoax joke thing.
Right.
This thing sucks your blood out of your shadow.
Now, I will say it's possible.
We're back into familiar territory.
It's possible we have some sort of like lost in translation type situation here, though, where drinking the blood from the shadow could mean more like when your back's turned, or like when you don't notice,
or when you're dead.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah, it could be a bad translation. That's true.
But like just a lot of like when you hear like native stories like this from stuff that we've had to translate and figure out exactly what they're saying. When you like hear the mythicized version of shit, like it's like with like as we're talking about legitimizing cryptozoology, a lot of the reason things are discredited when you first hear about them is because it doesn't sound real at all, and it sounds like some myth that people would have because they use this like big language for it because there's no real direct translation or something. And when it gets like that, it sounds fake. But when it's it hides behind you and sucks your blood, it's like, oh, that sounds horrifying.
And at that point, it's totally possible because with that supernatural aside, with that realism, the Sigbin might actually be our first cryptid that is on the cusp of being completely real and identified.
Really?
Yeah, it's the first one that modern science right now is like saying that's actually a thing. This cryptid is real.
Tell me how.
The next coelacanth in a way.
Ooh.
So you heard it here first. Nearby in Borneo, a creature that fits a similar description to the Sigbin was spotted and later dubbed as the Borneo cat fox.
I hate it.
It may also be a cat called the bay cat.
Aww.
Which admittedly does look real fucking creepy and does have very long hind legs and tends to stalk in the same way that the Sigbin does. The thing is that both of these species are relatively new and pretty endangered.
We just looked up these creatures, and they're horrifying.
That is very scary.
Yeah, the bay cat.
He's like Gene Simmons in A Terrifying Cat.
Oh yeah, the bay cat is
I hate it
to look at,
but I love it.
The thing is, it does look kind of marsupial.
It definitely does. No, like I was saying, it looks like a cat kangaroo.
It looks pretty cute. Yeah,
I don't like it one bit.
But like if you saw that and it's a predator,
it definitely looks like a predator.
That looks like a cryptid.
That, right?
That looks like a cryptid.
This looks photoshopped as shit. It's not, but it
real.
looks photoshopped.
That's a real thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That tail is very marsupial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's long as shit. So that means he's very good at getting up long distances and jumping. I'm the Catman from King Richard's. But on top of that, we have another thing. Just a little bit north of Puerto Rico, the Grunch. They might not
Can
deserve
you read this like Dr. Seuss for the Grunch?
None of this is in rhymes.
The Grunch who stole
None
goat
of my
blood?
notes are in rhymes. Yeah. Eggs and ham?
They made a Netflix show out of green eggs and ham, and Dr. Seuss cheated on his wife when she had cancer.
Wow,
all I got.
I didn't know that.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, he was a horrible human being.
Yeah, he was not
Anyway,
a cool guy.
I will say,
Jesus.
no matter what you read into with Beast of the Week, we will give you at least one fact.
it'll always destroy
Give me
your
one interesting
childhood.
fact, yeah,
They'll-
to make you.
There'll be one thing you can use at trivia. Never. So the Grunch might not deserve the moniker, the New Orleans Chupacabra, but its origins do track to when Nolans was underdeveloped and, well, for the first time in its life, new. There was an old dirt road to the east of the fledgling city that ended in a forested...
How was there an old dirt road when it was new?
All right, episode done.
All right.
All right, pack
this is
it
a
up.
great
Fuck
opener.
this thing.
Debunked.
Yeah. Debunked. There was a
Fuck, you got him.
aged moderately road to the east of the fledgling city that ended in a forest inhabited by those afflicted by either albinism or, and here's where that asterisk comes into play, dwarfism.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Since they were cast out of society at the time and, of course, assumed to worship the devil, they eventually interbred and, out of nowhere, went crazy to create a breeding population of grunches.
Now that's like going crazy out of isolation or something, right?
Isolation and interbreeding, I would
Yeah.
say, probably played a
I
part.
mean, just look at the old monarchs.
Yeah, that's true. I will say it's horrible that they were isolated like that, these people who are just people.
Yeah.
But could you imagine being lost in the forest and coming across that village without like ever seeing a dwarf or an albino person? That'd be scary.
I'm gonna make it a lot spookier. It's not the forest.
This is
It's
the
Nolans.
bayou.
It's the bayou. It's a lot more scary down there.
Like, that sounds like a horror movie they'd make in the 30s before we knew to be nice to people.
It sounds like Resident Evil 7, but shrunk down. But I got a couple better origins. Another origin story states that a woman named Marie Lavoie castrated what is known as the Bourbon Street Devil Baby.
Oh.
And in doing so, the testicles became a male and female grunch. This effectively stopped the devil baby from reproducing, but as a product, created the grunch and bride of grunch.
I have an infographic.
So the Bourbon Street, what the fuck?
Devil Baby.
Can we use that as our
Essentially,
Bourbon Street Devil Baby?
to put it in,
was this like a baby?
A devil baby?
What the fuck?
we'll go into that. We'll go into that.
Gosh.
Now, this
gosh.
sounds like an origin story from Fearsome Critters.
It sounds like motherfucking Aphrodite.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, a little bit.
Cut the balls off of anything, it's gonna turn into something else. Probably fertilizer for most people, but for some, grunch or Aphrodite.
Or a Rocky Mountain specialty.
Well, yeah, it's like fertilizer for your tummy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are balls a common fertilizer?
Yeah, just ask
That's kind of what they're
women.
used for.
Pee is stored in the balls.
Pee is stored in the balls.
I thought you meant for gardening.
You lose your moisture through the balls.
I mean, balls are
I thought you meant for gardening.
balls are the only fertilizer a guy can make, to be honest.
I think this is the first time in Beast of the Week history that testicle talk has gone over dick jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we've sunk lower.
Testicle talk
Where's where the balls are.
Conversations.
That was funny, Sam.
That's some low-hanging fruit.
So the last story is still got that devil baby. Devil baby's still there.
Okay.
Now I will say,
I need to know more about the devil baby.
Show me the devil, baby.
Don't show me it, please.
you,
Its balls become
You-
creatures. I don't
you-
want to know.
John,
Yes.
when you come to eat at my table, when you sit down,
I
Are
don't.
you
No,
gonna feed him balls?
Everything
I'm
you
not gonna
serve
feed
is
him balls.
questionable. Might be human.
yeah, but you still
Idiot
eat it
mean.
behind my back.
Fair point.
When you sit down at my table, you're always gonna get seconds, and sometimes you get thirds. So here's my thirds. The last popular origin story is that of if a devil baby bites someone, they will turn into a grunch during the full moon.
It's a were grunch?
Like, it's a were grunch. The grunch, because we haven't really talked about it. We've just been saying grunch, and you can probably picture this weird witcher enemy, probably. But the grunch looks like a typical Mexican chupacabra with more mammalian features than the reptilian Puerto Rican chupacabra, but with the inclusion of the ability to use tools, open doors, and screech, more akin to a primate. Or my cat. Some also say it carries a charnel scent with it, much like the Sigbin.
Oh.
Yummy.
What's charnel mean?
Now, you guys all... it's like a sickly, sweet, rotting, kind of like...
It's like the smell of rotting and
Have you ever smelled
decomposing
rotting
meat.
flesh?
Oh, okay. Rotting.
Yeah, rotting flesh. It's
Icky.
a real specific smell.
It stank.
Yeah, it's not great, and I hate it. Now, all y'all sitting down?
No.
Okay, well, John, you
Yes.
don't have knees, so you're always standing.
So I
They're
really
just
wish you kept
planks.
this illusion up for the show, but I am Cotton Hill.
Yeah, you can only stand. The Jersey Devil is regarded as a baby devil.
Oh my Christ.
And thus, it is possible Chupacabrakin is the result of the Jersey Devil. A completely different cryptid altogether. We didn't just connect Bigfoot to the Chupacabra. We got fucking Jersey Devil in the mix.
Well, Sam, I don't know much about the Jersey Devil. What is that?
Well, it's starting to get late. So I would say maybe that's something we could cover next week.
Next week. I don't know, Sam. I don't know. Do
You don't know that.
You don't know?
Do you know,
You
listeners?
don't know that.
You don't
What
know
are we coming at you with
anything.
next week on the Beast of the Week podcast?
The Jersey Devil.
Oh,
You don't know that.
You don't know.
You
that.
don't know that.
It could be anything.
I do know
You
that.
don't know. Oh, he does. Oh, you're right. He does
Damn.
know that.
We might not record that, but I know that.
But
Yeah. All right.
Season 2, Episode 1, coming at you. You listened to it. You made it all the way through. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it.
We are all so excited to bring an
don't know
episode
that.
back to you. We've missed doing this. We've missed you guys. And it's so exciting to be coming back here, bringing you crazy stories about crazy little critters. I don't
honestly just missed the energy for the live studio audience. Can we just give it up to you guys, the live studio audience?
Oh, God.
Beast of the Week podcast. We fit a lot of people in a room.
Yeah, there's like
400 people.
Our 3 best friends are here. Count Chocula, thanks as always.
Chocolate, Booberry,
Booberry.
Frankenberry. God bless. God bless and Godspeed.
No Fruit Brute. No Fruit Brute, which is real fucked up.
Fruit Brute really caused a scene last time he was here.
Sorry to Fruit Brew, we did not have enough time.
Listen, guys,
on the show today.
I'm legally not allowed to say what happened, but the reason we haven't had an episode is potentially related to Fruit Brute's actions. So we're safe from him now,
Yummy.
but
Yummy Mummy didn't kill himself.
Jesus.
come back next week, folks. We're so excited to be back. I'm John Cannon.
I'm Joe McGlinchey.
I'm Sam Harris.
And I'm Toria Ainsworth.
You don't know that, and the truth is stupid.
Oh, shit.
You don't
Hey.
that.
And don't
You don't know that.
and don't forget.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
I don't
I don't know what
that.
I'm supposed to not
stopping it.
be forgetting.
Can you
Is it
try
just
to do your
a
closest?
recording of the Hoover?
It's definitely similar to the sound you're making, but from a chupacabra, sort of, maybe. Allegedly. You don't know that.
Jesus.
Like that?
We don't know. It could be a chupacabra.
You don't know that.
Is it like?
It's similar to that, but there's like a clicking undertone to it. Like if do you have a
Oh,
click
I don't
pen?
like that.
Do you have a click pen? Well, it doesn't do that. Yeah, now suck.
Okay, let me suck and clip.
No, I am clipping.
Yeah.
I breathed it in.
In the pursuit of being a Foley artist, Sam waterboarded himself. I really appreciate the fucking effort. But yeah,
We all would have done the same.
We all. Yeah.
I would have.
You
done
don't
the
know
same.
that.
You
Yeah.
don't know that.